So on today's episode, we're going to show you the Goal Zero Home Integration Kit using this Reliance manual transfer switch, which allows you to manually power specific circuit breakers in your home in the event of a power outage. Now on this channel, we like to grow, build, and fix things around our home and farm property. And since the installation of our solar panel system, we wanted a way to have backup power for specific breakers in our home for emergencies. So today we're joined with my buddy Jay here, who's a licensed electrician. And you've been a licensed electrician for how many years now?
Since 2002, so you do the math.
About 19 years now. So very qualified person doing this job, licensed electrician in the state of Colorado. So definitely gonna hook this up for us here. Now you may recognize him from our solar video we did last summer, which I'll leave a link to that in the description below. Thanks for joining us, Jay.
No problem.
So explain to us how this transfer switch works.
You have your utility line coming in the top of the panel and your sub-branch breakers inside that control your individual utility or appliances rather. So fridge, microwave, garage plugs, in his case the boiler. So what we're going to do is we're going to disconnect one of these breakers from its source. We're going to send it through this switch and then back to the panel. So you're going to have an option to switch from a battery to your main panel in one spot outside of the electrical panel. You'll still have your breakers, which are now supplied here.
So more or less, it's like a control system for the individual breakers that we're trying to separate from this panel so that we can allocate those to get power from our generator, specifically when the power's out.
Yeah, so instead of running off the main utility power, you're going to have the option to run off the battery or your utility power, whichever when you have this switched.
With just a flip of the switch?
Yeah, without having to supply the whole house with a generator backup or a battery backup.
So the first step in the installation is to open the drywall in the nearest punch out on our main service breaker box. This allows us to get the conduit from the transfer switch to the main breakers that we are allocating for the switchable feed from line power to generator power. The next step is mounting the transfer switch on the wall next to the breaker box in preparation for the wiring. Next step is disconnecting the power wires from the individual breakers and adding them to the transfer switch that we plan on setting backup power for. The process of adding in the transfer switch is not all that difficult and doesn't take much time, especially if you have an experienced electrician. After installing the switch and testing the boiler breaker, we estimated that I can run the heat and hot water for approximately 36 hours on the Goal Zero 1 kilowatt battery generator.
Now we wanted to install this backup system with the battery backup because in Colorado it gets pretty cold in the wintertime and our boiler is the only heat source we have for the house. We don't have a wood fire stove. So this is kind of our only way to back up the heat system for our hot water and our boiler to keep the house warm. And if you remember back in 2020, when that severely cold winter storm came sweeping through the country last year, a lot of people were out of heat. And this kind of situation would have really helped them to at least maintain the warmth in their house rather than starting small fires inside their home, building the carbon monoxide, which is essentially poisonous if you're breathing it in. So this is a great system to allow yourself to have a battery backup or like a Bluetti or a Goal Zero to reverse plug it back into the switch, flick on whatever breakers you need to kick on the essential breakers in your house to heat your house, heat your water, keep your fridge running if you have insulin that you need to keep cold, everything that's important on your electrical system.
As you can see here, Jay is separating the power feed from the breakers and sending them into the transfer switch, giving us manual control of either grid power or off-grid power. Now the final step is to wire the male plug on the transfer switch, which gives us the ability to add our external power source from an electric generator, which is what we are using, but you can use either a gas or even a diesel generator, depending on the rating of the unit, and the individual circuits you plan on powering. Now this does take some calculation, but that's why I recruited my buddy Jay, because he can calculate this math much faster and with greater efficiency than I can, saving me a bunch of time. Our final step after installation is checking the work and testing all the connections. Again, I would encourage you to have a professional install this unit because of the importance of correct installation and safety concerns. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe for more videos this season. And if you have any solutions to power issues in your home, be sure to comment below. Thanks guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.